Yeah, what's up, everybody? We got Dope. What's up? Let me know how I'm sounding, everybody, because I did my mic settings. That I accidentally reset my mic settings, so I don't know if they sound good. But let me know. What's up, Dark Eye, Justin, Aka, Darkid, Juan Tiger, that guy Kev? Yeah, the leaks are going crazy. What's up? Leaks for different series too. I've heard that My Heroes are pretty crazy too, but then I mean honestly, Black Clover's leaks are pretty tame. Really, like I don't think they're that crazy. Like they're good, but Jujutsu Kaisen went insane. My accent. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Appreciate that. Yeah, but I wanted to stream because I'm trying to stream a bit more often though. I'm super busy, but I wanted to stream this Wednesday because we got some unfortunate news as fans of Black Clover that Black Clover is going on a 1 month hiatus. So we're not getting another Black Clover chapter till May 22nd. So that is super unfortunate. And, there's good and there's bad. The bad is we get to wait an entire month for a chapter. The good, there's multiple goods. I think there's more goods than bad, even though, yes, it sucks. So we're not getting Black Clover for a month. No, so yeah, I don't talk about spoilers Goku versus Naruto until Sunday. But the good outweighs the bad. So what is good? And I talk about this almost every time there's a break, but it needs to be reiterated. The good. The first thing I think of is that Black Clover is gonna be ending later. So whatever Black Clover, like say that Black Clover is gonna be ending. This is hypothetical. November of 2024. Well, now it's ending December of 2024. So you just are delaying the inevitable. Because it is going to probably suck a bit when Black Clover is done. Because probably a few months after it's done, the fan base is it's going to taper off. And it's going to be mainly the super fans that are going to stay behind. There's going to be a community within the fandom about Black Clover. Luckily, the fandom is big. So even when the series is over, it's still going to keep growing. And also, it's going to keep growing anyways, actually, that now that I think about it, because as long as the anime comes back, it's going to grow until the anime is done. So, really, it's just we're not going to get new content, but we'll see the fandom grow, but it does delay it. But also, the good is that Tabata gets another break. I've already seen some people complaining that, Tabata just took a 3-month break from April to July. He came back at the end of July. So, we've had 9 months, and then he's already taken another break for a month. And, so it sucks, and it is another long break. But I mean, Tabata deserves it at this point. I mean, sure, is Black Clover the highest selling manga of all time? No, it's not even close. It never will be. But he still has sold 18 million copies, and he's formed a massive, super profitable series. And if he needs a month break, then he needs a month break. And we're getting towards the end of Black Clover. We want the end to stick the landing. What's going to make it more likely we get the ending of Black Clover to stick the landing when a lot of shonen don't have that? It's for more breaks. So, maybe it's for the movie. That could be possible. It could be related to the movie because he does do work on the movie, and they might want some chapters to relate to the movie. Like maybe they'll want the Wizard Kings to appear in the Judgment Day battle at the same time that the movie's coming. We are getting a chapter this weekend. The leaks came out for the chapter last night, so we'll be getting an official chapter this Sunday, but it'll be a month after that when we get the next chapter. But at some point in this stream, I do want to go over because I'm honestly concerned about Tapada's overall health, whether it's mental or physical, because he took a 3-month break, and then there's been a lot of breaks in the meantime, leading up to this 1-month break. We actually had a 3-week break just a few months ago. So it makes me concerned. And so it's like, on one hand, I'm concerned, but on the other hand, if this is cause for concern, then we don't need to be as concerned because he's taking another month break, which would help a lot. But I don't know. There's been a lot of breaks for Black Clover, and I think I jinxed it because I remember when I streamed on Sunday, I was like, okay, well, because we just had a break 2 weeks ago. We just had another break. I think that since Black Clover has returned from its big hiatus of 3 months, we've only gotten 3 chapters in a row, or 3 chapters in consecutive weeks, like twice, maybe. I don't know I can't remember. I'll have to go through it again, but we'll go through like the longest streak that we've had. It hasn't been very much. We've had barely any chapters since Black Clover returned, if you compare it to what we should have had, especially when we go into missing a whole month's worth of chapters. I'm not like complaining, but like it's actually coming from concern that Tabata he had the 3 month break, a shit ton of breaks in between this, and then now a whole nother month break. So hopefully everything is going okay. Exactly, Key 360. We survived 3 months, so 1 month will fly by. Yeah, and like I was saying, just a few months ago we had a 3 week break, and that really wasn't that bad. So what, just an extra week? It's not going to be that bad, but apparently a lot of huge manga are going on break coinciding with this, because I believe Jujutsu Kaisen's going on a 2 week break after the craziest hat thing happening in like a long time in that series. And then also Boruto is apparently going on a 3 month break, which that's different because it's a monthly series, but about his health problems. He's had some like minor health problems in the past, yeah. So that's like why it concerns me. I mean, here's the thing. Basically every mangaka gets health issues from the job. It's just a part of being a mangaka in the traditional way. It's sad. It probably needs to change. But that's just kind of like, unfortunately, it seems like health problems are just part of the job. My Academia caught up and surpassed Beach. What do you mean? My Academia is caught up and surpassed Black Clover chapters. Are you talking about like in numbers, like in chapters released? Because if so, My Academia started before Black Clover, so it should be above it in terms of chapters released. Especially with Tabata's 3 month break. I thought My Academia was close to 400 chapters, so you might be referring to something else, but now I kind of want to look it up. But let me see here. Oh my god. I don't know why. The Viz has literally been useless the last 2 weeks to use on my computer. And now they're doing this weird thing where you have to get a different app to use their services. I don't know. To me, it seems like Viz is done, but My Academia is at 385, so it looks like it's been well ahead of Black Clover. I don't think it caught up. I think Black Clover's always been ahead. Why did the manga go on hiatus? I didn't see a reason for it, Latasa. It could be health issues, though. It could have to do with the movie. It could be both. Tabata is working on the movie in a sense of, it's his story idea. He is probably overseeing it just to make sure it's correct. He's creating the character designs, but not to discredit the amount of work he's putting into it. But it's not like he's actually animating it. Meanwhile, I'm gonna take another bite of my sushi. What's up, XD Anime? Yeah, I didn't see a reason for, but damn, Black Clover author should make another generation of Asta's life as a Wizard King. Yeah, I have ideas of what a sequel for Black Clover could be. But I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a direct Black Clover sequel. It's not immediately after. Like maybe he'll do something else, like a shorter manga, and then it'll come back to Black Clover. I'm thinking that Tabata is making too occupied, or just too occupied getting the movie right. I mean, in terms of lore, making sure nothing contradicts the manga. See, I don't think it's that. Unless if he worked on that months ago, and then now it's making him miss it. But, like, the movie is 2 months out. Less than 2 months out now. We've already seen the trailer, several trailers. A lot of the work's done. The story should be pretty much set in stone by now. So I highly doubt that he's actually super involved with making sure that there's no contradictions. Excuse me. Hey, Brooke, are you a munch? What do you mean by that? I don't know. So I think that, that could be a partially, like, he needs to do some stuff for the movie. Maybe he's overseeing the light novel. But I think that most of his work with the movie is probably done. But it might be that it's, because being a regular mangaka, a chapter a week, that is a lot of work. But if he is doing even a little bit of work for the movie, that might just be the added factor, like confounding variable. They should continue Hungry Joker. See, that would be cool. I would love to see the Hungry Joker continued. Because I actually really like that story. It's a super unique, and a lot of people say it, but if Hungry Joker came out, a couple of years ago, it would be a super popular series because it was just too early for its time. And I agree. So maybe it would work now. But I mean, it already didn't sell that well when it was out. So they might not look at that as something that they would want him to do. Because Shonen Jump is going to be completely focused on making money. And so, movie out in 6 weeks. It's a bit more than 6 weeks. But yeah, no, I'd love Hungry Joker continuation. Like I've said this before, but because Hungry Joker only got to 24 chapters before it was canceled. I think that the first 24, I guess the only 24 chapters of Hungry Joker, if you compare that to the first 24 chapters of Black Clover, that Hungry Joker is better in those first 24 chapters. Now, of course, I think Black Clover is way better overall, but, it's not really necessarily fair because we have 350 plus chapters now. But, yeah, Phantom, I agree. I really like the concept of Eureka. I like the idea of the Mavro. And that it kind of explained a lot of weird oddities about our world, and that sort of, it's almost like a science fantasy, like a sci-fi fantasy, because Mavro are like demons or devils. Yeah, some characters in Hungry Joker are pretty overpowered. Excuse me. As long as Dama doesn't end up like Tagashi, I don't think he will. Pick where I would scale Hungry Joker. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can scale it, or, levels you can scale it to. People, will get into, like, large planetary, even dwarf star level stuff, because Haiji made a black hole. There's, like, a character who shaved away a part of a moon, which has been, like, calced to be, like, the low-end multi-continental. Yeah, well, let me know where you scale him. Hungry Joker. When is the movie coming out? It's June 16th. I never thought of the apple Heidi has just to give the one who ate it straight up gravity. Yeah, gravity manipulation. Always one of the most powerful abilities in fiction. Man, the sushi's good. Toji, absolutely not. No. I mean, I haven't seen every page of the leaks, nor have seen all the dialogue. But Morris needs to do crazy stuff. Like, I'm not even talking about feats, right? I'm not talking about power scaling Morris. I'm talking about he needs to have a good arc for him to be redeemed. So no, him, which I'm not gonna talk about what he did, but like just based off of the previous chapter, it really didn't show very much. Like, you know, he's fighting Marileona. No, he doesn't redeem it at all. Except Lacasa. But no, like he would need to have his own arc and have it be wrapped up well. It's like, unless if he betrays Lucius, there's really nothing that he can do to redeem it. Because Morris was built up to be the final villain of an entire saga, not to be a just a minion for Lucius. I mean, I would definitely go back, if you haven't, Toji, watch my video on Morris. If you haven't, so I know some people still haven't, but like Tabata was cooking with Morris as he was gonna be one of, like, he would be like an Aizen type villain if he would have just fleshed him out, like in terms of quality. Not saying he would be as good as an Aizen, but like same tier. And then he completely goes against everything that he built up for him. So hopefully going on gets a Salamander Union, like Spear Dive or Saint Stage. I mean, yeah, that's been kind of what everybody's been wanting ever since what is it, chapter 170, when he showed up with the spirit. Everybody's wanted to see Spirit Dive going on. Like, Tabata is like really holding out on that. What else it needs is a sword style? What do you mean? Like, it needs more techniques? Do they really scale High-G to Planetary? I haven't actually looked at Hungry Joker versus Battle Wiki. Yeah, I guess it says Heidi and killed scaled the planet level. I wonder if it's because he created a black hole. What? Oh, okay, so he's planet level because he can create a palm-sized black hole. Epsilon made this feat. Planet level. That's pretty funny. Yeah, planet level FTL. I mean, I'd still think that Black Clover is stronger, just because versus Battle Wiki has high G at planet level, and Asta at multi-continental doesn't mean I agree with it. But yeah, it's funny like how got passed, because like you just brought it up, basically, Rice Maki, that every other character is like city block level, but like is that so like that can pass for Hungry Joker as a non-outlier, but Black Clover does stuff, and apparently it's an outlier, even though there's more instances of it happening. But it just really shows how versus Battle Wiki is a really cool site, like really cool for learning stuff and seeing like inverse scaling and seeing calculations, but it's not infallible. There's so much stuff that can be wrong. Asta or Rimuru. Sloated one, that's tough because I don't really know. Excuse me. Like, I haven't seen Rimuru's like full potential. I think I've only read up to volume 18 of the manga. I haven't read the light novel. Based on what I've seen just on 18 volumes of Rimuru and the manga, I would say Asta. But like I said, I don't know, and I've heard he's way stronger in the light novel or the web novel or whatever. Wait, when was this confirmed? It was confirmed on from the people who leak the Black Clover chapters. Booth. You could argue that Haiji has a lot, like his black hole is a lot more supportive of being an actual black hole compared to Dante's. What's up, Jake? Keith Ricks, that could be a reference, but I don't know. It'd be one thing if it was a seed and not a pill. And maybe that'd be a lot more evidence for it being a reference, but you could be right. I mean, that'd be a cool reference. Kickter, it's a 1 month hiatus. So the chapter, Black Clover's returning on May 22nd. Which I just realized I won't be able to do my review stream for Black Clover returning. Because I'm going to be gone with no internet. Fuck. Hopefully nothing crazy happens. And I remember last April, I was going to be going on a vacation for the weekend. And, or actually, I think it was a week. And I wasn't going to have service. And I was like, well, hopefully nothing crazy happens in Black Clover chapter 331. And then my vacation got canceled. So I'm like, okay, it's whatever. But I can't imagine if that vacation actually didn't get canceled. For me to be gone while the whole Lucia stuff happened would have been so funny. No streams. That'll just be for like that week. XD anime. I'll continue streaming. It's just when Black Clover returns, I won't be able to stream like my review for its return until like almost a week after. Shonen for Life, no. Marshall is not a ripoff of Black Clover, and like that's my issue with like, because I talk about a lot of why Black Clover is not a copy of Naruto, because the logic just isn't there. It's a very illogical claim to make, and it's kind of an ignorant claim to make, and so Black Clover fans have had to deal with being called a Naruto clone. So I made videos on it, but what kind of irks me is when Black Clover fans do the same thing. I can't remember what it was called, but there was like this newer manga that showed like a picture of their character. The character looked vaguely similar to Asta, so people were saying that this was an Asta ripoff. And then the same thing happened years ago when Marshall came out. Black Clover fans were calling Marshall a Black Clover ripoff, and it really irks me because these same people who complain about people calling Black Clover a Naruto ripoff are calling other series a ripoff of Black Clover. I think it's super hypocritical, and again, it's a super illogical claim. But no, it's not a copy. It's really not even that. It's not even that close. Like, they're very different. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the creator of Marshall was inspired by Black Clover, but it's not a ripoff. Five, is that Euro? I don't know. Super chat from Kickter. Appreciate that. Much love, Broku. Do you read One Piece? It's been crazy hype lately. No. I've read the first roughly 330 chapters, but I'm not caught up. I do want to read it. I really do, because there's this one video I really want to make, but I think like I would need to read all of One Piece to be able to read it, and probably, or to make that video, I'd probably need to read all of the manga, find data books, read light novels if there are, but excuse me. But I will read it one day. I will read all of it one day. Like I want to. Part of it is like one of my goals is because for half the summer I'm going to be in school as a full-time student, but for the other half I'm going to have just a summer where I just have YouTube and like my writing and stuff to do. So I have a bit more free time, and I hope that in that half of summer I can get a jump start on getting caught up on One Piece, and actually getting fully caught up. But we'll see. DZL and Black Clover, does speed equal magic boost? I'm gonna try and guess these are what exactly you're asking. You can chat again and I'll respond. But if you're asking like if you get a magic boost in Black Clover, like if your magic power increases, does your speed increase? The answer to that is yes. But if that's not what you're asking, just chat again and I'll, like, you don't have to super chat, but just comment down in the chat and I'll answer it. But yeah, appreciate that a lot, Diesel. Dope, that is the video I want to do. If I do Black Clover, or if I do a One Piece video, it's the Straw Hats versus Black Bulls. Black Clover month break, that sucks. At least, yeah, I heard the Lion returned and Warhammer 40k. That's another, like, universe I want to get more into. I just don't have the time because there's so much to get into it. There's so much, but what? Yeah, Kichter, I'm in school right now to get my associate's degree in biology, and then I'll get my bachelor's degree in kinesiology. I already had I had a pretty crappy degree, like. It was just a general studies degree. It's meant so that you go to a community college and then you can transfer to a four-year school. But then I decided that I can save a lot of money and time if I just do the science classes at like my community college. I'm thinking about changing my major, but I don't know. The Pillager. Do you think Lucius still holds some of the magic types up his sleeves of the Supreme Devils? Or do you think he's imparted all of them on the Paladins? Very good question. That one's hard to answer. I feel like the nature of Lucius's magic should mean that if he should be able to still have their magic types, even though he's given them away. But I don't know. I would say probably. Are my prepping any theories, Planet Jeff? Yeah, I have a couple of them. I always enjoy catching the streams. Yeah, I mean, also Upsilon, I have my highlights channel where I post all my streams too. So if you ever miss them. And yeah, Plumbub, I do own all the Black Clover manga. I also own all of Naruto. All of Seven Deadly Sins. I did have, at one point, I had all of the My Hero Academia volumes too, but then I just kind of stopped collecting them. More for space. I also, at one point, had all the Fire Force volumes, but I'm now behind on that. If Black Clover gets an outer versal feat, would that be an outlier? I mean, technically, is it an outlier? Yes. But just because something is an outlier doesn't mean you can't use it for scaling. Like, if you have a character, like let's say right now, like probably most people don't think that Black Clover is multiversal, right? There's like pretty much no argument for it. Well, let's say next chapter, Lucius just waves his hand and destroys a multiverse that's outside of the Black Clover world. That's an outlier, right? Because nobody has anything close to a multiversal feat. But because it just was a blatant thing of him destroying a multiverse, it's not gonna, nobody's gonna consider an outlier because he actually did it. Usually outliers are when they're more vague, when the feats are more interpretive and then it's something also that's an outlier. The whole outlier arguments in, a lot of manga are very, very, like, hanging on threads. Especially when it comes to attack potency is a thing. But, yeah. You never did a 7 Deadly Sins versus Black Clover video. I will be doing that, Diesel. Don't you worry. And I actually did do the 7 Deadly Sins versus the Black Bulls years ago. That's not really a very good video looking back on it. But I will be doing it. I don't know how I'm going to tackle it. Like, I don't know if I want to do just, make a How Strong is Meliodas video. If I want to do 7 Deadly Sins versus Lucifero, or I don't know. I'm thinking about what videos to make, but I definitely want to because I love 7 Deadly Sins. Black Bull, Stomp Fairy Tail, did hacks? I don't think so. Oh, nice, Kaploon Bob. That's good that you almost collected everything. I write, sit up, yeah. I mean, every show takes inspiration. Like, it's just weird. $10 super chat from Joseph. Appreciate that. I love the video about Asta versus Deku. Which one? Is it like the death battle response? Or because I am going to make my own video about Asta versus Deku. Like my own death battle. Try and make it better than they did. And actually get some sort of animation done for it too. But with all these hiatuses, I highly doubt Black Clover anime will ever make a return, unfortunately. I think it will. Especially if the movie does good. If the movie does good, we will get Black Clover back. My last sushi roll. Asta versus All for One. I mean, I definitely got Asta. Yeah, Chris, I agree with you, Chris. I think the movie's gonna be really good. Phantom X. I know that my story's gonna get those like claims too, but like the funny thing is that like things can be similar without even being planned, right? Like in my narrative, in my story, like I started working on it in 2018. It was either 2018 or early 2019, before I had ever read Jujutsu Kaisen. And I took inspiration from Black Clover's power system, and I made like a technique that was similar-ish to Monozone, but a lot more drawbacks. But then I also expanded on that technique and made something that's like domain expansion. But I never even read JJK yet. And like I know when my series releases, there's probably gonna be somebody that says that that ability, that spell, is a copy of domain expansion. And also, one of the characters in my story, I took inspiration for Yudo to make this character, right? But I wanted to make it so that he was a little bit more different than Yuno. So I made it so that this character had 2 magic types. And then Yuno gets a second magic type. So it's so funny. But I mean, the character was already very different. It's a very loose inspiration, but if the movie's only on Netflix, I will pay for Netflix. Yeah, I mean, it is only gonna be on Netflix. Bleach returned after 10 years, but yeah, Black Clover will return. I mean, it does make me a little worried that it took 10 years for Bleach to return, even though Bleach has sold over 100 million copies, whereas Black Clover is at 18 million. But I think it will, especially the movie being good. Dope, give us a spoiler from your story. I wouldn't even know where to start by giving a spoiler. I mean, you might have already read part of it, because it's Nine Fates, the light novel that I had released on my website, but I said that was the first draft. I was just posting it to let you guys read it. But like, this is my extra draft. So I've actually put in a lot of editing and revising into it, changing things around. But yeah, it's basically just my story is set in a a world where there's 9 realms, like the 9 realms of Norse mythology. The main character is a Viking that was raised by elves in Alfheim, and basically there's God. It's so weird. I need to get better at pitching stuff because I'll have to do that at some point. But basically, there are 9 scrolls of fate, one for each realm. If you collect all 9 scrolls of fate, you get a wish, and basically that's like the objective of the entire series, is that there is a raven, which is a human wizard, who they're the servants of Odin, the Allfather, and she's on a quest to save her Allfather, because you guys probably all know, Odin dies in Ragnarok. So the whole point of the story is to get all 9 scrolls of fate so they can wish to prevent Ragnarok. So that's not really a spoiler per se, but that's kind of... I mean, I already have the end of the story planned, Flumba, but I'm not spoiling that. I mean, who knows? I could post, the first novel and then never even finish it. But if you guys like it, I'll definitely keep writing it. But do I think the Earth Spirit will be with an existing character? I think it'll be a new character, Steve Irwin. By the way, I loved your show when I was little. Boruto is at 4 million, but they get episodes. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is Boruto's manga doesn't sell well, but its anime is still more profitable than Black Clover, and it's still part of the Naruto franchise, so it still bolsters the Naruto franchise, so it's a little bit different. I was suggesting that Mars has somehow acquired the Earth Spirit because his goal of taking down the Diamond Kingdom is tough. I mean, that's been one of the debates in the fandom for a long time, Extra User. Can people who don't have the aligned magical attributes use the spirits? Like, do you have to have fire magic to use the fire spirit salamander? Or if you just had a related element, like heat magic or something like that, could you use the spirit salamander? Or, like, for example, Randall, who has air magic, could he use Bell? Because air is very similar to wind. I don't think so, though. I think that you have to have the same attribute. So I don't think Mars does, unless if he gets a second, somehow if he has earth magic, but I own every single volume of Black Clover Key 360. How many arcs do I have planned in my story? So in 9 Fates, there's 9 arcs because of the 9 realms. We got thunder and lightning, boys. I don't know if you guys heard that, but the thunder rumbled my desk. So I don't know how you guys couldn't, because my mic was actually shaking. But yeah, so I got 9 arcs and 9 fates for the 9 different realms. And then, but that's the thing, though, is that my, like, story has many different, like, arcs. Because 9 Fates is just one of the series that I want to take place in my multiverse. So there'd be a lot more than that. Like, I've written 7 books. All of them take place in my universe, but all of them take place in different series in my universe. So, well, all of them are unreleased, though. As a writer, what do you think about making badass characters in your story, like characters who know they are strong and boast about it? Proudly, example, Gojo. Well, I think that the important thing for having badass characters isn't really, like... And this is actually... It goes down to a very common writing philosophy. It's show, don't tell. I mean, you need to do a bit of both, but, like... It's... If you don't ever show the character being badass and it's only word of mouth, or it's only, like, exposition of them talking about it, then it's never going to show that they're badass. The audience is never going to believe it. So you got to do a mixture of show and tell. But you can do mainly tell, but if you just never show it, nobody's ever going to buy it. So Sure, you can start with like, oh, somebody saying said character is like the strongest or whatever, but you can also, instead of just telling it, show like people in fear of that person, and then show a a feat that they do of them like fighting an entire something by themselves, or they went into a cave of a dragon by themselves and came out with the treasure, something. So like, do a mixture of show and tell, but don't only do tell. Do I think that people from Land of the Sun have any concept of monozone? I would be surprised if they didn't. I wouldn't necessarily think they have exactly monozone, but I wouldn't be surprised if they have something similar. Like, as for example, the Heart Queen has monozone. That's a different country, even though they do share a border. But it's a bit different because it's like very different society on a different continent. But I think they would have something similar. Best new gen shonen power system. If I might have to put JJK if that's still considered new gen, even though it's 200 plus chapters now. But Phantom X, I wrote a story for my creative writing class about Baldur's death and Ragnarok with my own plot twist to it. I'm gonna finish the story though. Oh, nice. That sounds interesting. Is there another place to read your comics? Because I'm not touching webtoons. No. I mean, you can read the first draft to my light novel. If you just look up Nine Fates, it should bring you to a website. But no, there's only 3 chapters to my webtoons. There's 2 chapters that started the series, and then 1 chapter that was a prequel. But no, they're only on webtoons. Do I think Nero or Sekret likes Asta romantically? I don't think so. Alternative Alan, you just missed kind of just chilling. Just chilling. Nice, Joseph. Hey, Chris, I do have some collabs planned. A couple of them, actually. Well, actually, it's really a lot, but I have one collab planned with one person, and then a bunch of collabs planned with another person. Yeah, go for it, Phantom. You can shoot me a message and tell me about it. I have not read World Trigger, TJ. I mean, I've been working on a medieval story for a while now, but I just hate having to make OGP. You're talking about like OP characters? OGP? Purely because I have no clue how to scale that for the MC. It's hard to give, because it almost seems like, if you mean OP, for power scaling your own series, like, really it's narrative first, and then upon revising your story, like, because you gotta remember, most people are not power scaling. Like, what I mean by, like, most people are not power scaling like how I do, where I analyze every single feat, statement, everything to try and form an argument. Most people don't do that. Most people, they get the very basics of it. Like, so that's why just write your story, and then if you're reading it or revising it and you don't think the power scaling makes sense or seems contradictory, then you change it. But don't focus on power, because I do not focus on power scaling when I'm writing. Like, that'll be something that I fix if it's an issue in a later draft. Yeah, story over power scaling, exactly. Like, it is important. Because, for example, I've talked about, I think that right now that Magna can beat Licht and Lumiere is not the best storytelling. So, like, when it comes to stuff like that, sure, fix it. Try and make it so that not everything power cliffs, but also, that's the thing, though, is that there is now a genre of fantasy called progression fantasy, where it literally is just power cliff. Like, it's power cliff, but it's actually good. Like, I've been reading this series, and I've just started the 3rd novel, and it's a progression fantasy. It's really good because it feels like you're reading an anime. And honestly, I might make a video on it if I do end up reading them all, because the story is literally just imagine a series of 13 novels where instead of Naruto being the main character of Naruto, you're following Rock Lee in his rise to becoming like a pure, like, it's such a good story so far. But even then, some of the power scaling in that is not really that like consistent. Because that series, it kind of has a stage system similar to Black Clover. That it has iron rank, copper rank, or it goes copper, then iron, then jade, then gold, and then there's like in gold, there's low gold, high gold, true gold. And the main character right now is an iron, and he's, even though like he has to like, use tricks to fight people that are in higher ranks, he still should not, like, he has no right to being as fast as them to do that. So it's like, even though this is a progression fantasy, the power scaling still isn't perfect. But so Black Clover, so pop that wheelie. Black Clover is going on a 1 month break after this chapter releases, so we're not getting another chapter until May 22nd. Planet Jeff, can you post a link to your story? Yeah, sure. I will give a fair warning that, honestly, this version of this story is not very good. Like, I wrote each of these chapters in a few days and didn't edit them because I did. Basically, this whole thing was like a learning exercise for me to put the pressure. Like, I gave myself a deadline. I needed to release a new chapter every single week, so it made me write. And so yeah, these are all first draft chapters. It's not the best. But yeah, I'll link it. And also, this was like 2 years ago, so I'm a lot better of a writer now. But yeah, here's the link to my light novel. A writer called Narita wrote Bleach novel Can't Fear Your Own World, and his power clip the characters is terrible. Okay. Yeah, I've heard that a lot of people had take issue with the power scaling in the Bleach novels. Like, the point of my story is trying to change the ways of the kingdom, and the power system is full on just swords with really goofy gimmicks. Interesting. When you say gimmicks, do you mean like powers, like magic, or mangaka Broku win? I mean, I'll never be mangaka because I can't draw. Like, I wish, but you need to learn how to time travel because you're not waiting a month. I wish I could, but Return of Spinner, yeah, Spinner and I have some collabs, yeah. So we have some collabs planned. Spirit of the Beast. That sounds like a cool title. All Might is channeling his inner Iron Man. Yeah, I heard there's some, major All Might stuff going on with the, goddamn, I lost my train of thought. Rip mangaka Broku never existed. Actually, I did. What's funny is I did create a comic that I actually did some drawings myself, and I did it like as a joke for my friends, and it is like the art's even worse than one from the webtoon novels, or not webtoon novels, the web comic for One Punch Man. And somehow it got like over 1,000 views, like a 9 whatever star rating on Webtoon. Is so funny. And it's so bad. And it's so dated. I was working with an artist, but it's a lot more difficult than it sounds. Do you think when the manga resumes, it'll focus back on the fights? I think it will. I mean, I haven't seen the full leaks of this chapter, so I don't know. But based on what I've seen of the leaks, I think that we're gonna come back to the fights before going to the Black Moles. Tell us the name. I'm not telling you the name of that one. No, it's really cringe, to be honest. Maybe one day I will, but No. No, no, no. Gojo versus Yuno. I got Yuno. Oh no, we did not have issues. No, it wasn't like that, Diesel. It just takes a lot of time to draw. And I think he was in school, so it didn't have the time to do it. We didn't have any issues though, so. And that's not what I meant by saying it. It's just harder in terms of it takes a lot of work is what I meant. Shadow Monarch, you wish you could be a mangaka. Yeah, I mean, there is like the drawbacks of, it's a lot of work, but, if your manga successful, it's, pretty rewarding. What do I think of Infinite Speed, I want to see more of Neverland before, like, getting hard set on Infinite Speed, Gojo is too slow. Yeah, he is pretty slow. Best waifu in Black Clover? It's Noelle. Longris versus Leo? Leo hasn't done anything in so long. Do I use adult scenes and words in your story, like insults, smoking, and sex? I mean, there's insults. There is occasional smoking, and honestly, there is gore, like in the battle scenes. But I have not actually written a sex scene, and I don't think I will. Not in this series. Gojo is pretty dope, Shadow Monarch. That's what I was gonna say. Like, probably in a few weeks when I finish my second draft of my novel, I'm gonna need some beta readers for the third draft. So, if you guys don't know what a beta reader is, beta readers, they read early copies of chapters or books, and then they give feedback. So if anybody wants to do that, basically just all it entails is, and you could sign up for it eventually, and then if you just don't even want to do it, or if you get too busy in the middle of the process, no worries. But like, I send you early chapters, and then it'd probably be at the pace of like 3 or 4 chapters a week, and you can pace yourself. You don't have to like do all of that, but you just read each chapter, and each chapter there's a form where you just fill out like, did this chapter make sense? Are there any plot holes? What did you think? Stuff like that. So if anyone wants to become a beta reader, let me know. It's probably a few weeks out, but actually it might even be longer. But Planet Jeff. All right, man. What's Planet Jeff? If you're interested, it looks like you are. Then you can just hit me up on Discord, and then I'll put you on my list of beta readers. I'm only looking for a few, but because I already have a couple, but I want at least 5. Marilyn, the best waifu. Yeah, she's pretty good. Leo is that new character from the upcoming movie, right? Oh, God. Excuse me. I do know Dokkan Battle, Bring Her Down. I even played it a little bit when I used to do, like, mainly Dragon Ball content, but... You're in for a beta reader? You're right. Oh, cool. Well, if you want to, yeah, just, Shadow Monarch, you can just go ahead and message me on Discord. What is your Discord name? Well, if you go to the description of the stream, it should take you to my Discord, and then once you're in my Discord server, you should be able to find me pretty easily. Watery, you're illiterate. You don't like, as long as you can read, that's all that matters. And the fact that you are typing and actually putting in 2 words makes me think that you're more illiterate than you think. I do as well, Jolly Good. I want to learn more with the Wizard Kings. That could be possible, Byron. Mighty Man, it got announced when the leaks came out last night that Black Clover is going to be off until May 22nd. Oh, man. Gaga. That was a crazy night, bro. Like, I cannot wait until that gets adapted. Because I cannot wait to see reactions to people when they see Domnatio marching up to Julius. I cannot wait to see that. That was so hype. I remember the whole time reading that chapter, I'm like, is this chapter going to reveal it? Is this chapter going to prove my theory right? Is it going to do it? Is it going to do it? Because, like, they were releasing, like, each page every few minutes, and they were dragging it out. Oh, it was so good. Anime Master chapters usually release every Sunday on Viz, but leaks come out usually Tuesday, and then the fanlations get out like anywhere from Wednesday to Friday. Straw Hat Asta. We don't know the exact process. I'm sure that Wizard King is selected by. It's probably chosen from like if the Wizard King's like stepping down, they probably just pick the most suitable current captain. Diesel. I mean, yeah. Basically, if you super chat, I answer like everything, no matter what. But I also try to get as many people in the chat. Upsilon. I'm probably going to actually release my series and produce the light novel myself, and just release it on my channel. So, but that'll probably be a few months after it actually releases. Honored One. I'm trying not to talk about spoilers too much. I'll talk about that on Sunday. Yeah, Byron, that's gonna be insane. Yeah, extra user. It is stated that Wizard King is picked by merit. Um, so yeah, it would be a mixture of those things. Oh my god. Oh, Asta and Yami oiled up. Who wins? Who wins and what? Thanks for the super chat, bro. But just comment down below again and let me know what you want to know. Oh god. Do I think Asta will be a captain first or go straight to Wizard King status? I I wouldn't be surprised if he goes straight to Wizard King. Honored One, Jack. You know what's funny is that feat apparently has actually only been calced to be like city level or something like that, which I don't know how, but one Zepto second without the Zasa. A twerk off. Bro, we already know Yami's winning that. Yami ain't dying, he survived lung cancer. Yeah, bro, he literally like is he in the once Asta like quote unquote died, like literally Yami just gave himself lung cancer by smoking like so much. It is true, Barker Boy. I don't think we got an actual answer, but it's probably a mixture of having to do with the movie stuff because the movie comes out in 2 months, and just being, you know, a mangaka. City level's insane. Yeah, it's apparently pretty trash, unfortunately. Okay. I do kind of want to go over how many breaks we've had for Black Clover. We've had 2 breaks. 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 Yeah, we haven't had a full month of Black Clover since its return. I just went and looked through it. We have not had a full month of Black Clover since its return. We've had so many breaks. Has to be at least island level. I mean, I would. That's what I would have thought, but I don't know. Bro used Monoskin on his lungs. Oh god. Yeah. Well, also the thing is, Jack is amped in that feat too because of Yuno's Neverland. So it's not even like, yeah, it's not that crazy. It looks cool though. But I want to pull up this shit. So show how many breaks we've had. So this is the Viz release schedule. I'm a member, but they be doing shit like with what's going on. Like I can't even sign in on. Well, I can, but it just signs me out every time. But like, so Black Clover 3-month hiatus here, and it was a little bit over 3 months, 3 months and a week. So we had 1 chapter, 2 chapters, break, 1 chapter, 2 chapter, 3 chapter. I guess I was wrong. Wait, no, 1, 2, 3. So we had. Oh no, we had 5 in a row. I'm stupid. I cannot count. 1, 2. Yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we had 5 in a row, and since September, we have not had a full month of Black Clover. Unless if I'm stupid and I didn't miscount it again. But yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 in a row. That's our best streak, I think, since Black Clover's been back. And then break. 1, 2, 3, break. 1, 2, break. And 3-week break right here. 1, 2, 3-week break again. And then 1, and then break. And then 1, and then break. And then 1, 2, 3, break. 1, 2, I think that's 3, yeah. And then break. And then 1, 2, 3, break. 1, 2, and then 1 month break. Damn. There's been so many breaks. Yami and Sanji having a race to see who gets lung cancer first. Oh my god, that's so messed up. Don't get me started, Mighty Man. Mighty Man. If Black Clover had, and then also Tyrus says, I don't know how to say, is it UFO table? That's what I've always called it. If we got that type of animation, bro, oh my god. Like, that's the crappy part, is Black Clover got shafted. Like, I'm not saying the animation's, like, bad, but, like, if Black Clover even had the quality of My Hero Academia, which it's a good quality anime in terms of, like, the production, but that is still not even close to JJK or Demon Slayer in terms of quality of animation. If Black Clover just had that, I bet it would be at least 30 million sales. At least. And then if it had JJK or Demon Slayer animation, oh my god. I would honestly, like, I think that right now, if Black Clover had the animation quality of JJK, let's I think JJK is getting close to 100 million. Let's look it up. And that's definitely outdated. 70 million copies right now. Okay. And I think it's off of like 22 volumes. Black Clover's at 30 something. I wouldn't be surprised if Black Clover was at 70 million volumes right now. If it had the quality, or did I say volumes? 70 million sales right now. If it had the quality animation of JJK or Demon Slayer. Because it probably wouldn't do just as well as JJK, but it has more volume, so it would probably still sell around the total amount. And it might even be a lot higher than this, because it says August 22nd it was 70 million. Let's see if there's a more updated list. But yeah, if Black Clover, like I said, if it even just had My Hero Academia quality of animation for its consistency, and had, a seasonal, it would have at least 30 million sales. At least. Demon Slayer, though, it's never... Like, Demon Slayer is 150 million. I don't think that it still would come close, even if it had Demon Slayer quality. I don't know. But... Because Demon Slayer is just nuts. Like, I remember I was reading Demon Slayer before the anime came out. Or maybe I just watched the first few episodes, then I read the manga. I can't remember which order that was. But I was like, like, this is good, but, like, the anime just be doing shit to make it so much better. JK's at 85, is it? I mean, I looked up at a list. It said 70 million, but... Yeah, I think it was actually, like, it might have been even 100 countries, but... for BU, but it was at a lot. Like, a lot of the anime is #1 anime in a lot of countries. And yeah, that's like you said, that's even with it being, like, very inconsistently animated when it came to its production. 3 months without Black Clover, the world's coming to an end. It's only a 1 month hiatus, but I get you. But yeah, I just imagine. Yeah, Demon Slayer gets carried by the animation because the plot is not that great. Like, it's a good story. It's good, but, like, man, it's not 150 million copies good. And it did it in barely any volumes, too. If JJK, or if not JJK, if Demon Slayer was still going, it would probably be close to One Piece. Black Clover has its fandom because the story is good, because it had to endure a very inconsistent animation. That's how you know the story's good. And the characters are well liked. But, yeah, man. Like I said, MHA quality, Black Clover selling 30 million copies. No diff. Maybe even 40 million. JJK quality animation, that shit's selling 7. That's at 70 million right now. And then maybe like 85, 90, maybe 100 if it was Demon Slayer quality. Demon Slayer was niche until the end. It was. Yeah, the story is not very good for Demon Slayer. The characters are better, but yeah, exactly, Gaga. 150 million and 23 volumes is insane. Like, it's insane. I guess also, damn, I didn't realize it, but Slam Dunk is insane too. 170 million on 31 volumes. Now, sure, it's been out since the 90s. A lot more time for sales to come, but all the other volumes all the other series that are ahead of Demon Slayer have a lot of volumes. 200 for Tokyo Beat Cops, 72 for Naruto, 45 for Doraemon, 42 for Dragon Ball, 102 for Conan, 207 for Golgo 13, and then 104 for One Piece. Like, yeah, if Demon Slayer were still going, and it's still going to keep selling because it still has more anime to come out. It's pretty insane how well that sold. Any opinion about the Dark Trio for New Gen? Are you talking about what people call the Dark Trio for Jujutsu Kaisen, Hell's Paradise, and Chainsaw Man? Told myself for 3 years I watched Demon Slayer. So I would honestly suggest to watch it. The animation is beautiful. It's definitely worth the watch. Knight's Wrath. Marshal's really good. That's one of the series I'm actually caught up on and I read every week. It's pretty good. It's not like close to my top 10 or anything. It probably wouldn't even be top 15, but I really like it though. I like it enough to have read every chapter of it. Probably going to be making videos on it too. I kind of want to wait till later in the season though. Maybe even like right when the finale of the season airs, I'll make a video for Marshall with a few ideas. But I know a lot of people will probably wonder who wins, Mosh or Asta, but how many episodes are out for Marshall? Probably, what, 2 or 3 now? Because it's been probably a week since the first one came out. I actually watched the first one. Well, more so listened to it and watched it a little bit while I was studying, but how many episodes does it have? 2, so third one's probably coming out soon. Yeah, it's probably coming out in a couple days because the earliest reviews are April 7th. So yeah, Marshall's good. Definitely interested to see how it ends. Marshall's another thing though, where like I don't think the story is that good. It's mainly the characters and just like the action and the comedy. Damn. Marshall's already almost as popular as Black Clover in terms of Google searches. Actually, no, it's really not that close. That's what anime does for you. Oh, super chat. From Byron, Broke, you should read Siren. It's definitely something I want to check out. Thanks for the super chat, man. Yeah, I definitely want to check it out. And that's one of the reasons why. Yeah, I was just gonna say what you said in the chat, Byron, that Tabata was an assistant to that mangaka. So yeah, definitely, that's one of the reasons why I want to. But, anyways, guys, I got a chemistry exam tomorrow, so I need to get to it and get a little bit more studying done. But I am going to try. I'll definitely be streaming on Sunday, but I'm also going to try and stream on Friday too. No, I probably won't be able to stream on Friday. But I'll at least see you guys on Sunday. And then I'll have a video coming out tomorrow, so I'll see you guys in the comment section down there. But thanks for coming into the stream, guys, and thanks for all the super chats and the support. I appreciate that. Hope you guys all have an amazing